That's right.
Yeah.
At least it's slow.
Slow and dirty.
Slow and dirty.
Welcome to the Nerdrotic Nooner. A little early today. A little surprise. We woke you up. We whispered in your ear. Let's get nerdy in here. That's right. What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Nerdrotic Nooner. Oh, shit, that's loud. We're all tired. We're all tired from our very difficult jobs of reviewing bad movies, playing video games in the middle of the night, feeling up boobies and x-raying them, and whatever the hell, making man buns, whatever Quarter Black does. We're here.
Utility, all right? God dang it.
Whatever. That guy was
Just
a hero,
jealous.
man.
Just jealous.
There's a hero. If he's in jail, I want to bail him out. That guy who cut off 37 man buns.
That is
in one
assault,
day.
sir.
That
That is
a
assault.
hero. There goes my hero.
Running around the
Watch him
city
as
cutting
he
man
goes.
buns?
That's
That's
right.
insane.
37.
Assault.
Well, the funniest, the comments are like, how did you find 37
How did you?
man buns?
Where was he? Where was he? What state was that?
It was California.
California.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
Just walk around. And the look on
See, I don't wear them in public.
I don't
you
even know if
wear
it was
'em in-
real, to be honest with you. I just
Oh.
like, that sounds fucking insane, but the look on his face, the picture they got was so perfect. So.
Yeah, he's just like laughing.
I gotta find this
loved
now.
it. I tweeted it.
Ah, I haven't been on Twitter yet. That's why.
Oh my god, yeah. Scroll down a little bit. It got like got a lot of likes. Whatever. I don't understand Twitter. I don't care. Real quick, I don't have a Telegram. Chris doesn't have a Telegram. Quarter Black doesn't have a Telegram. X-Ray Girl, do you have a Telegram?
No.
Critical Drinker doesn't have a Telegram. Melanie Mac doesn't have a Telegram. So apologies for the comments section. You know, YouTube was able to demonetize people at the blink of an eye, delete channels at the blink of an eye, get rid of the dislike button at the blink of a fucking eye, but they can't manage this damn spam thing.
Yeah.
So I've finally got like my partner manager involved, and I'm screaming at Team YouTube about this shit because it's ridiculous. So sorry, but I don't have a Telegram. I don't even know what they're saying now. Whatever they're offering, I ain't giving it.
It's usually Bitcoin or some kind of
Prizes.
crypto
I don't even
thing.
know
Yeah,
what a
me.
Bitcoin is. I don't know what to do with the Bitcoin, and I don't care. I don't care. So we have a quick show today. We got to end at 1 because I have a meeting. But Chris Gore, good morning. Thanks for waking up early.
Yeah, good morning, Gary. I literally woke up and read your Twitter DM. I was like, oh, okay, well, that's in 10 minutes. So got to make some coffee. Yeah, no, I'm awake. I will wake up during the show. How about that?
Yeah, well, I told you could wait and just come in when you can too. I didn't make him come in. It's okay.
No,
but thanks for being here, buddy.
Of course.
Oh, well,
yeah.
we got to talk about. There's a couple things we got to talk about specifically. Well,
Oh,
three.
man.
Couple three.
Yeah.
One of
Sure.
them's Ant-Man. I just read the best review. I put it on Twitter.
Yeah, I saw that.
Hang on. This was just, I was going through the
So
Rotten
good.
Tomatoes. I was going through the Rotten Tomatoes, and here. Make sure I'm not showing my messages. That's always good. A true movie, for sure. The best MCU film since Wakanda Forever, and by far the greatest thing so far in Phase 5.
I feel like Jonathan Majors as King, they watched this show. They watched this show when we were talking about that.
Yeah, that's whatever. It's the best Marvel thing since the last Marvel thing, which Wakanda Forever was.
So exciting.
And it's the first movie in Phase 5, so of course it's going to be good. Jeez, or to them anyway. But there's a lot of weird reviews like this. There's one review that says, I loved Ant-Man, Wasp, MODOK, Kang,
every character.
Wasp. That was it. Like, okay,
this is 100% a troll because it starts out so like, this is a true movie. Just a movie.
Marvel has done it
Best
again.
thing since the last one.
Somebody asked me if I did this, and I'm like, I wish.
Damn good.
But you saw it, Chris.
Yes.
Oh, you've seen it?
I've seen it.
Ooh.
What is there to say? Well, actually, okay, on the positive side, the first third of the movie is actually kind of entertaining. It's kind of entertaining. You see Scott Lang, he's sort of a celebrity now. He's ditched all of his friends from his criminal past. He wrote like this autobiography that you see him reading it, which is actually, oddly enough, that is a real book that's coming out. It's a fake autobiography of Scott Lang. It's actually on, you can find it on Amazon, which I think is kind of funny. So it starts off kind of fun, and he's, trying to establish this relationship with his daughter, Cassie, reestablish, because there was missed time, and he has regrets about that. And you think that that's what the movie is going to be about. The trailer really implies that relationship will be a thread throughout the movie. It's actually not.
Yeah.
And it just, and the quantum realm, when you first see it, is like, oh, this is kind of interesting. It's a little different. It's all volume and green screen, but which we've gotten so used to. There's something distancing and dehumanizing about it. It doesn't feel real because we know it's not real, and it really doesn't look real. Like, they don't sell it well enough to be. And also, like, what is it? This is just a random collection of people that fell into the quantum realm on accident. That's what it is. It's not really clear what the, how things are working. And there's some resistance to what, Kang and his army.
Wait, there's like a group of people that are also shrunk, and there's a resistance down there.
Yeah, it's the quantum realm Antifa is basically what it is.
Cringe. Like, they had to force that into the movie.
Well, no,
only Ant-Man people could go down there, but now they have to have like a group of other people that also shrink down. Like, what?
Yeah, it's not. No, it's not. It's just it's not made clear. Like, everyone got there on accident, apparently. But what is most distressing, as it all begins to fall apart,
Antifa man. That's good.
But but I will say also another positive is Michelle Pfeiffer is great in the movie. She's just unexpectedly very good. Okay, where it falls apart.
But is it her movie? Like, is she the main thing in it?
No, it's definitely not.
Okay.
It's definitely not. It's definitely Ant-Man's movie, but it's the Ant-Man family movie is kind of what it is. It's almost like Ant Family. So get ready. So it feels very Disney Plus, right? And nothing bad's gonna happen to anybody, in the end. They tease that there might
win with these people.
Yeah.
Early in the game.
The thing that stood out to me that was very bizarre was a thread of mentions of types of political dogma. One in the Resistance, and very overtly, there is a line spoken by Michael Douglas talking about how ants are socialists, and socialism is how they function. Because he's all about the ants, Hank Pym. And he makes this it comes out of, for no reason, he says this line. Basically, the virtues of socialism, because look how happy ants are, and they all work together.
Ants leave each other to die. They leave each other to die. They eat each other.
Yeah.
And they're a hive mind.
Yeah. So
yes, it's socialism. I totally agree.
It literally felt like they were telling, because the movie would go like, all right, okay, I guess I'm on board for this, fine. And then there would be something where it felt like Disney was literally someone from Disney standing next to Peyton Reed as he's making this movie, saying, you got to do this. You got to do that. And then the movie goes off the rails. I felt so disengaged because I know Kang is, we know that because that Kang is going to appear in all these other movies, that what's the point? What's the point? This isn't, and other people have pointed out, which is accurate, is that this doesn't even feel like a third Ant-Man movie. It's just chapter 1 of phase 5, which is another Marvel movie. I think the thing that does, where the movie does work is Paul Rudd is likable as Ant-Man, but I always saw Ant-Man as kind of a side character. He was the comic relief. He was side character, comic relief. Yeah, you get your own movie, but even the last movie, Ant-Man and the Wasp, opened 87 million opening weekend and did respectable, right? The first Ant-Man was around 56 million, I want to say. So I don't know if this will do much better than that. I know that you can get free tickets at IHOP if you spend $30 for a Fruity Tooty Fresh and Fruity. I think you gotta work to spend $30 at IHOP. But
we are on the decline, man. If there's anything else that proves it, that is it. You get free tickets at IHOP. They're trying to give them away, man.
Well, they didn't do these. This is what we did. I did a video on it on the Film Threat channel talking about this special at IHOP. This didn't happen with previous Marvel movies. They weren't doing it. So I don't know how this is different. How is this different? But ultimately, how I felt about it is that it's I just was apathy. I didn't even hate, I really disliked Wakanda Forever. There were things about that movie that I was pissed off about, offended by, annoyed by. That movie is full MCU, blatantly MCU. The way they handled Namor, my least favorite Marvel movie of Phase 4, is that movie Wakanda Forever. That was just bad on so many levels.
That's saying a lot because Phase 4 was really bad.
Yeah, so I would say this is the least bad, but it is a Marvel fatigue because we see through the formula. We kind of see through the formula, like we see it now.
Yeah, and it's like I was feeling the fatigue in Phase 3. Before Endgame and all that stuff, Infinity War, I was already like, I'm just kind of not feeling the Marvel brand, that's kind of cookie cutter movies. And that's whenever it was still good, and now it's been bad for like 4 years. I don't know if I give a crap anymore.
Yeah, I mean, they've added this element of Kang and Jonathan Majors is very good. That is a thing that is sort of, it's like, okay, he's good. It's a different Kang than the Kang we saw in Loki. Okay. Definitely a different Kang. But the way I'd have to tell you what one of the end credit scenes is. So I don't know if you want to spoil it, Gary. So
you could tell me in the private chat. I don't think I do.
Oh, okay.
You want to put up a poll?
Right, yes.
Girl. Does anybody care? I don't personally, but I respect the audience. You know what I'm saying? But without telling us what they were they impactful? Did they leave you wanting more when you left the movie theater? Oh, he muted.
No, it just sort of made me feel like, okay, so here's where we're going. This is where we're going.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
That's interesting. Did you see it in the private chat?
Hang on.
We got 96% saying spoil away.
Go for it.
Oh no, already? How many people?
We knew this was happening. Like Kevin Feige, practically spilled this on the red carpet.
Oh, he did?
So you guys who out there has watched the Rick and Morty or who's read Fantastic Four comics?
Yep.
I'm sure some of you have. So there's a bunch of Reed Richards and there's the Council of Ricks. Mm-hmm. Well, there's multiple Kangs. So they've retconned Kang so much as a villain that he's like Rama Tut, Iron Lad. He's a bunch of Kangs. So what was that?
He could be anything they want him to be.
Yeah. And he even mentions that, have I killed you before in the trailer? And He Who Remains, if you didn't see the end of Loki, is another version, is a variant of Kang. So what was the post-credit scene, Chris?
So the post-credit sequence is, they've, quote, defeated Kang, right? Which, no surprise. And you see a stadium filled with thousands of different types of Kangs, thousands. And so they may have defeated the one, but there are a lot more out there. And that's it. It's the first, and then there's another post-credit scene that basically connects to Loki. It's Loki and Owen Wilson's character, and they're watching sort of an old-timey version of Kang give a speech. So yeah.
That's it. So it's leading into Loki. So their post-credit scenes are leading into streaming shows, and that's why you were telling me this is just another Disney Plus movie.
Yeah, it feels like another Disney Plus show. So it's I don't know. It's just the way I feel about it is I just feel apathy because I thought Endgame, oh wait, that's great. That's the capper. We're good. Are we ever going to reach those heights? No. The answer to that clearly is no. Phase 4 has been so middling, going nowhere. Now they finally I feel like they felt rushed to we got to get Kang. We got to get to Kang. Just introduce the big bad.
They're making the same problem, the same mistakes that WB made doing the Justice League.
They absolutely are, and we'll get back to this conversation. I need to address Dan Bask and his criticisms out there. Okay, Dan.
What's the criticism?
Well, Dan said that I'm insulting him on Twitter, and I'm not even tagging him in the right account. Stop getting your counts yeeted for being such a moron.
Feels like a dad
and then
moment.
I can insult you directly, Dan Vask. Okay.
I'm Team Dan Vask. All right.
Am I supposed to keep track of your accounts when I'm assaulting you? No, you keep track of mine, buddy. Okay. I know you have millions of subs and girls throw their panties at you through the fucking internet. You think you're just a big guy with the nice voice and the pretty face and the very pretty mouth. But I'm your elder. You will respect me.
That might get clipped. Dan and his pretty mouth.
Clip this. Clip these nuts, Dan Vask. Okay, back to the conversation.
So I think it's what I think is this movie will do well opening weekend. I don't know that it's gonna break. My buddy Eric Weber says it's going to do 125 opening weekend. I don't know if it will, but it'll drop quick. I think it's going to drop quick, and there's no way this thing is it's not going to get to 1 billion for sure. There's just no way.
Oh, there's no way.
Yeah, I just don't see it.
Not a chance. The last one didn't get even close.
No, I'm just tired of these movies that look like we're going to film it against a green screen. We're filming it in the volume. And people were, some of the early reviews were talking about how great the Quantum Realm was. I thought it was just like dirty and brown, like a junkyard. It wasn't.
That's how the trailer looks. It just looks like
it's like
random. There's something about Jack Kirby's art that it's trying to do, but it does it completely horribly. Like, Jack Kirby's art, he has that crackle, it's pop. There's you could see the detail in these spaces, and they're trying to do that with this color, but they just can't get anywhere close to that.
What's weird about it is
it just looks like mud.
It does look like mud, and the muddiness of it is a cheat. That's why you see so much inclement weather in a lot of digital spectaculars, because it's a cheat for bad CGI. That's what it is. That's why, like the first Godzilla movie, or the newer one, right, in the MonsterVerse, it rained all the time because it was a cheat to go low budget on CGI. That is a cheat. So the Phantom Realm, or the Phantom Realm, Quantum Realm looked, the Quantum Realm just looked muddy and kind of ugly. And then the other thing is there's no consistent design with like who's there. There's like this woman who's the leader of the resistance, okay? And she's,
of course, there's a woman who's the leader of the resistance. All women lead resistances now in Hollywood.
Yeah, exactly. So that she's there. But then there's like TikTok all these sort of
videos in their kitchen leading a resistance. Oh shit, I'm getting in trouble for that.
No. There's literally a creature that is a head of broccoli with eyes. It looks stupid. So what it looks like, this, I'm trying to explain this in the best way. It's like there's no consistent look. So, you know, like how Star Wars has a look, right? Certain movies, the Road Warrior film, the Mad Max movies have a look, right? This looks like someone had a toy box where they threw in all these toys from different, you know, IPs, all different. It's like, oh, here's my Star Trek toys, my Star Wars toys, my Flash Gordon toys, my other. Then they just threw them in a box because nothing, you know, there's no consistency.
No design logic.
No design logic. That's exactly right. So I'm like, okay, is the design logic that there's no design logic? And David Dastmalchian, who gets a single card billing at the end of the movie, and I'm a fan of David Dastmalchian, by the way. I've known him for years. He's, I mean, that guy, guy was homeless. He's homeless and a heroin addict, and built himself up, got himself cast in a really memorable role in The Dark Knight, and then he just pops up in everything. So he's become like one of those noticeable.
He's got a great story. You got to listen to him talk about his story. It's really good.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Speaking of stories, yeah, it is. He's a little weird, but I mean, you know, being
everyone in Hollywood is weird.
Fuck with you, yeah.
Everyone is.
I mean, it's not a bad weird. I kind of like. I like weird.
I think it works for him.
I think weird is fine. You know, when it's like harmless weird. Dan Vasc for 100 fake Brazilian pesos that get cheaper every day thanks to the dictatorship that his country is falling into, because you guys vote about as well as we do. Says Gary's first comic book was drawn on the wall of a cave. I know I'm old. I know I'm old, and I'll tell you what I tell my young son: keep that up, and you will not make it to this age. Okay, young man, just keep it. Keep it up there, buddy.
Yeah, but you'd have to get on a plane to get.
You know
to
what?
him.
I know a guy with a special set of skills that I'm going to set down there to cut off your fucking man bun. Okay.
Tragic.
Yeah.
Tragic.
I wonder if you could hire that guy, the man bun guy.
Oh my God, I'd love to. That shitty grin on his face was just
on retainer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
David plays like a germ. He plays like a germ who's got a couple scenes, but it's you know, like it's weird that they just gave him like such a big billing. I mean, he actually played a character on screen named Kurt, who was the Russian in the crime group with what's his name, Mike. And by the way, no Michael.
Do they
Pena.
come back at all?
No, zero.
No?
And can you imagine though him coming back now? The criticism that people would level. It's like, oh, he's a stereotype. He's a Latino.
He's the best, like legit the best part of those movies. Like every time he had his like the funny scene, like he was great.
Yeah, no, he was great. Not in the film at all.
Wow.
At all. So, but it was weird. But it's you're gonna be hopeful at the beginning. You're gonna think, oh, I'm kind of with this. This is good. We know Kang is coming. This is entertaining because there are parts of it that are fun. I'm not, not gonna lie. They're like parts of, okay, that was fun. But as it is, it just sort of leads to like it's meaningless. Like,
I'm so tired of MCU.
Yeah, it felt kind of meaningless.
What I mean, like, I would have then what was their whole plan? Like, Kevin Feige clearly doesn't care anymore, because if he did, he would have just made this part of Phase 4 again and not wanted to start Phase 5. But he's so desperate to get things going because he knows outside of Guardians, which is still iffy, it's going to be a bad year theatrically for Marvel. And it just is. That's an objective truth. Outside of Guardians, you have the Marvels and this movie. Okay, so they're like, we're going to start Phase, because they needed something. So like, let's say we're starting Phase 5, and that's all it was. That's their plan for Phase 5 is we're going to say we're starting it. They're going to introduce, once we get in the Secret Wars, we're going to get the negative zone. We'll have the quantum realm. There'll be so many fucking realms. You will not be able to, like, you will just be lost. And it's going to be such a hot mess. It is already, but it's going to get so much worse. So much worse.
So we've got multiverses and realms now that we have to deal with. It's just getting so complicated.
It is. And then it's hard to sell that Thanos was out there willing to snap out, just in one universe, the half of it. Kang, who was mapping out and basically scripting this entire universe, said that was part of it. Okay, no problem. The Celestials didn't care. You're going to have other godlike creatures who were just around, who could have stopped it at any moment, going, nope, we're fine. No, weren't going to interfere with it at all. You know, it's ridiculous.
It's something you can kind of explain away or not think about when you're reading a comic book, because it's a different medium.
Well, the comic book took care of it, though. But in the Infinity Gauntlet, that all gets handled.
There's just something about in the movies. It's like I can't explain it away, and they have so little time to do it. You know, like in a comic book, you have a bunch of comics, a bunch of pages that could tell this story. And in movies, you have 2 hours, and that's it. And now they're going to 3 hours, and they get longer and longer.
And they're making these episodes of television, and Marvel doesn't even know how to make television. But they're trying to do serialized storytelling now that's way more connected than it needs to be. These can still be like movies by themselves that like loosely connect, you know, like RTD did it in the first 4 seasons of Doctor Who. There was an overarching plot, but like it wouldn't be in every episode, and if it was, it'd be in like a minute, or it'd be something on a screen or something that you catch. That's probably the best way to do it with films, especially since this is episode 1 of a season of television that's going to take 3 years. It's going to be a hot mess with different stars. It makes no sense. Plus all the woke shit makes it stupid. So
well, that's how that's season phase 1 was just like that. It was slow. It was like Iron Man. You did the Iron Man movie, and at the end of that, you found Nick Fury, and then you had the Hulk movie, and you had Tony Stark in it, and then you had, you know, it was not everything was completely connected. Like this movie completely hinges on being phase 5 and connected and setting up everything else. It has nothing to say on its own. At least the first Ant-Man had that. It could be its own movie. It could be Ant-Man. It's still connected, but it wasn't like this, gotta set everything else up. It is hinging on this. Oh, look at all the Kangs. It's going to be setting a bunch of things are happening. Things are happening. It's so tiring.
It is.
Yeah. It's there's just sort of an air of like, why am I still watching this? The one thing that really stood out was Tony Stark and Steve Rogers. They were really the heart and soul of you know, Marvel phase 1, 2, 3. They were the glue that held it together. When they were on screen, it was important to pay attention because it would mean something to later events. And it doesn't feel like there's a grounding character currently in the Marvel Cinematic Universe that is that grounding force.
True.
The thread that is driving through all of the movies is this story, and the story of, you know, Tony and Steve's relationship. Sounds like a gay indie film. The story of Tony and Steve's relationship, and that running as a thread through phase 1, 2, and 3 kept it all together. You know, I mean, you know, Ant-Man's kind of a fan of Captain America, right? Grew up knowing about him. It's just, so it's interesting that they were the grounding forces. And with that, I think Marvel's going to regret ending those characters' stories. I think that was a mistake.
Absolutely.
Even John Favreau fought against it. It was told to him, hey, Tony Stark's going to die in this. He's like, bad idea. John Favreau thought it was a bad idea. You know, kind of the guy that kicked it off. Maybe there wouldn't have been a Marvel Cinematic Universe if that first Iron Man hadn't hit. And I think Favreau contributed good ideas, and certainly contributed the best ideas to modern Star Wars or Disney Star Wars. The best ideas came from Favreau, too little, too late. But, you know, he had an idea and kind of hit a tone that the Star Wars sequels movies didn't hit, were incapable of hitting.
Right.
So, you know, there's nothing guiding this. There's not the like, who's the leader? There isn't one, and it's definitely
Captain
not going to be
Marvel.
Brie Larson. No, you know,
it's Brie Larson.
You didn't watch the Super Bowl, Gary.
I did not.
But that's okay. You know, I mean, obviously you can see the commercials minutes after they air on the Super Bowl. You know, they're on YouTube.
I watched the trailers. Two of them. I didn't care about the Transformers. I don't give a shit.
Yeah. But there was a video that they played kind of before, there's like so much BS pomp and circumstance. And they're like, and now a word from Captain America. And of course, it's the new Captain America. And it felt off. It felt off. Like, I don't think you've earned that place. It felt like they needed at least a movie, or at least Steve Rogers, not to just give him the shield, but a story that establishes that he actually is Captain America. And, not just, I'm in the costume.
They gave him a costume, and then he let somebody else kill the bad guy, because you can't have a male killing a female villain. This is why it's like, if you're going to have a female villain, then you got to have him fight the hero. But no, they just had another girl kill the female hero. Then he lifted her up like she's Freckle Jesus and told a senator to do better. Now he's Captain America, Chris.
Right.
It's Captain America.
Yeah. I mean, especially when you see Steve Rogers' story in the original Captain America movie, he was Captain America before he took the serum, right? Like, he had that heart of a hero, and they really played on that. I thought that was so well done.
Well, and Falcon was it was a good setup, because it was a veteran. It was an injured veteran.
Right.
He's trying to help other veterans. So it's like you have a good start of what Captain America could be.
But now he can't get a loan for his boat because he's black.
Exactly. So they went in this other direction that doesn't exemplify what Captain America should be, and now he doesn't feel like a Captain America, when they could have done it. They could have passed the shield over, and it could have felt correct, but it just doesn't, because they went in the wrong direction.
Right.
Master Phillips is let me read this real quick. Sorry. Master Phillips has given us $20. Says, "Hail all, your neighborhood gig worker here, enjoying the sun and fresh air while collecting bucks just lying everywhere. No boss, no schedule, and no panel of beautiful souls. Good day to have you. Good day to not have your work automated. Hashtag learn to drive." Gig workers, that's good. I love the gig work. There's so many opportunities to make money now. There's way more than when I was a youngster, back when we were hunting and gathering. But but people aren't taking it, So cheers. Sorry, Chris. Go on.
No worries at all. I feel like what's going to happen is, I know on FNT everyone will have seen it by then, and you guys will be talking about it. I don't think there's going to be much to talk about the following week, with the exception of the box office, which now they're putting the estimates at like 95. It's the typical thing of like, they're estimating high and then they downgrade it. So they're downgrading the estimates. I think Ryan Cannell did a video on it this morning. No, he was talking about the Rotten Tomato scores, or did he talk? Anyways.
Yeah.
I don't know.
They said it's 120 million's the estimate domestic, I think.
Yeah.
I don't know if they're gonna get that. I just don't. Yeah, that's oof. There was an air of desperation around this. Like you said, the IHOP thing was unheard of. There has been Twitter ads like every time I scroll past, it's like, get tickets for Ant-Man in theater, to the point where I had forgot, like after the trailer, I had completely forgotten it. And honestly, the Flash movie has like dominated the conversation over the last couple of days, good and bad, over Ant-Man. As it should. The Flash is a more popular character, except that it's played by two Ezra Millers, than Ant-Man. But you're still, like, Marvel sees that themselves as far superior, and they must be freaking out that, oh shit, this Flash movie is being talked about more than ours, which is out. For one, they didn't release a trailer during the Super Bowl, did they? Oh, they did a Guardians one, but they didn't do a Marvels one or an Ant-Man one, did they?
No, they didn't. No Marvel's trailer, and people are freaking out about it. By the way, Marvel's opens in 5 months.
Yeah.
No trailer. Months. Oh, we know what that means. It's not good.
Right, July 11th, I think, is when it opens. It could be. I think that's it.
Wow, but that's right around the corner.
Yeah, 5 months. Not even a teaser trailer, right? Like a 30-second teaser, something.
I'm getting the feeling that Disney has less money to spend on this stuff. Like they used to blast out trailers on the Super Bowl like every year. To have 3 movies that are coming out and you only drop 1 trailer.
Yeah, well, the Super Bowl was on Fox. You have to pay for it,
Yeah.
So I just it's just apathy is what it is. There's something, it's like there's not a freshness. We know the formula. We know it, and there are parts of it that are like you will be entertained. Parts of it that are, just because also Paul Rudd is so likable as an actor, but he doesn't do gravitas. He just can't. So, and that may have been needed for, a first encounter with Kang, right?
Yeah.
And then like the final tag being basically a Loki season 2 commercial trait. It's just.
So what do you think about the rumors that like Ant-Man died in this one? Do you think that was even true?
I'll bet it was true. Because it feels noted. They did set it up. It did feel like you literally could have cut one scene, and it's just so easy. You'll see the way they structured it.
Yeah.
At the end, like it's like, oh yeah, and this is the part where he dies, but he doesn't. I mean, it's a spoiler. He doesn't die in the movie. But I think also because Ant-Man is a character in the theme parks.
Yep.
Like seriously, in the theme parks, like you can't keep killing off these characters. They actually do
that are in your theme parks. Yeah.
Well, if you kill off Ant-Man, who else you got? I mean, you got Paul Rudd. He's got charisma. There's nobody else in the quote unquote Avengers right now that has charisma. So you can't kill him off. I'm sure that is a note that was like, hey, look, we can't get rid of Paul Rudd.
You see this first review.
Need to keep him around.
The best Phase 5 movies so far. I hope people are trolling. If people are trolling, then bless you. That is, I don't think it is. I think it's, but damn, that would be funny. That would be hilarious.
What's the Rotten Tomatoes score right now? Because as it's
53%.
So it's the second worst
easily.
It's the second worst.
Let's go back.
Yeah, 53%.
I mean, that's the thing is like I was offended and upset and pissed off at Black Panther and how that was all handled, how the character was so disrespected that they couldn't recast the directions they went with it, the sort of mishandling of bringing Namor into the MCU. Like just this didn't make me angry. It didn't make me angry that it was weak. I just felt like, okay, now I've seen it. All right.
That was a movie, I guess.
Yeah.
That was a movie.
And it'll be forgotten about pretty quick.
Exactly. And I don't know, Guardians, that new trailer, I wasn't as taken with it as I was with the first.
Yeah, no, I'm right there with you. It was very meh.
It was the snappy dialogue. I don't know, something about it just, it's going to be the conclusion though. I think Guardians after this, that's it. That's it for at least.
Didn't they say that? Didn't they say that this is the last one?
Yeah.
Because positive review bombing doesn't happen, folks. It is absolutely just you guys. It's you guys in your mom's basement getting troll bot farms to downvote Captain Marvel because you hate women. Or it's the giant corporation with the kind of resources through marketing departments that can have plausible deniability that would hire bot farms to positively review it. That would never happen. That would be wrong. That would be unethical.
Yeah. I'm curious what the audience score is going to end up at. If the critics score
at this rate, it's going to be 99%. Fuck.
But it's the critic score. Like it's interesting. You kind of see the dam breaking.
There you
go. With critics, I feel like the mainstream critics now feel emboldened to be able to finally say this stuff isn't so great. They always hold back though on the social reaction. Like the first night of the premiere, and you see everybody. It's mostly positive response, and then the actual reviews come out. And it's.
Did you read this one?
I can't read it.
You can't read? Oh,
yeah,
okay, Chris.
Yeah, man.
You're
right there with you.
Amazing movie. The critics are jealous that they don't have the amazing body that Kang has.
What's that?
Weird.
That is weird.
That is weird.
These are great. But what we noticed from the critics yesterday, it was like they were shitty reviews, and then they go 7 out of 10.
Right. Yeah.
8 out of 10. Worst Marvel movie yet. No plot, no characterization, just CGI mess. 10 out of 10.
Go see it.
Go see it. Yeah. Were you with anybody who liked it, Chris?
Yes, Eric Weber liked it. He thought it was. Now, Eric Weber, by the way, not a comic book movie guy, not even a comic book guy, doesn't know nerd stuff. He's not a nerd guy at all. He liked it, but both myself, Paulie from Latino Slant, Dante James from Verbal Riot Show, and Alan Ing, we all did not like it. We were all like, what? We all walked out going, what did we just see? Like, what was that? Like, and it was so forgettable. That's why I'm like, it's all the like, oh, we got to go get the thing, and then we got to do this thing, and we have to do this, but we got to do that. We're separated. Now we're together. It's
an and then story.
It's an and then story. And then it's just, and then this happens. It almost felt like very much like a video game in that sense. Like next task.
Best Star Wars film since Revenge of the Sith. Coruscant has never looked so vibrant. And it was great to see so much Xenos representation after the human washing of Andor. Jonathan Majors did a fantastic job as Darth Kang. There's
oh my God.
By
the way, this weird comparison to Star Wars, I did not see that. Like they're trying to compare it to, it felt like Star Wars. Who said that?
The marketing department. I'm seeing it a lot. To. That's the absolute triumph of Ant-Man. This is like Star Wars.
That's not a positive thing.
Yeah, no.
That I'll say this. They do that, Gary. They do that. I'll get press releases. I remember when. Do you remember when that Star Trek movie came out? Whatever the last one was. I thought I wasn't super jazzed by it. I did not. I like. There are parts of the first one I really like. But that last Star Trek Beyond. Okay. I got a press release from Paramount saying it's like an episode of the original series. And then I saw other people parrot that, other critics that I know.
I remember seeing that too.
Those words. And I'm like, oh, it's this. They're just trying to plant that seed in your head. And sometimes I'm convinced that some of these people think that they thought of it.
Oh yeah.
Like they think they thought of it. So when I saw the Star Wars thing, in what way is this comparable to Star Wars? I mean, maybe you could say that parts of the quantum realm look like Coruscant, but that doesn't make it Star Wars.
Which looks like Los Angeles 2019 from Blade Runner,
Man, just like surface level understanding of what Star Wars is. Like,
it
looks like space.
Star Trek, even Picard in season 1 and 2. But you're absolutely right, Chris. Once I saw this pattern a lot, right? But it really came out with Shang-Chi. So, I mean, because what I'll do is I'll find keyword. Here's a little secret. I do work. So I'll find keywords and I will read every review and I will Control F and put that keyword in that I think is the word that's it. And sometimes it isn't there. But a lot of times it is. An absolute triumph was in 12 reviews. 12. And I know Robert Meyer Burnett said it on his own. I do not believe that guy gets memos and reads off it, but everybody else, when they're holding their gift bags going, this was an absolute triumph, and you see their free food behind them, John Campia. Come on. Like, nobody gives me money. It's like, no, they don't need to. They don't need to. You come cheap.
I think Campia is on the outs with Disney now.
Oh, you think?
Yeah,
because with the Spider-Man thing, and
he was pissed at the at D23, right? And
because they had promised him that they let him film the panels, and first of all, I'm shocked. It must have been a low-level person that doesn't know anything, like, oh, I'm going to film the panels. They do not let you film anything at D23.
Yeah.
I stopped going. Alan Ing did go, and he saw this trailer and a short scene from Marvel's. He did not like it. He says it's not for us. He says it's a Disney Plus show made for young girls. That's who the target is.
That's why I think they're going to put it on Disney Plus. As thinks maybe theaters, and then 45 days it's on Disney Plus, and I could agree with that. But I wouldn't be surprised that, behind the scenes, they're like, shit, we did this ESG movie. We got this director that said on Twitter she hates white people over and over again. Then she had to wipe her Twitter clean, and now we got to put this dog shit in the theaters. Oh, we're gonna eat our lunch on this one. God damn it. But that's what they're thinking. Yeah. And they got fucking Nerdrotic and Drinker and everybody else out there is just like counting the days till our movie comes out. You're damn right I am. I've been waiting for this. This is fucking Christmas and New Year's and my birthday rolled into one. The Marvels. Let's do this. I can't wait.
You got to get your Bree shed. The quartering can't be the only person who has a Bree shed.
I know.
Gary needs a Bree shed.
I need a shed. I can't get a big one because I've got a pool. So, but I don't have. My backyard's like normal size. It's not like I don't have a house out in the middle of the country. I don't have a mansion in the middle of the country. I live in the burbs. Deep in the burbs. Good luck finding my house. The mailman can't find my fucking house. It's great because all our street names, I won't say, are like this is a Texas thing apparently, and some of the neighborhoods, they're all the fucking same.
Yeah, they're it's all the theme. Same. Sometimes they'll be like oak trees and pine wood. Yeah,
it's
or whatever.
All the same. So the mailman or woman has the hardest time. Oh, Melanie Max Stalker will find me. God, I hope so. I'd like to talk to that guy. Bring him down to reality.
What the hell?
Oh, yeah. Somebody that lost, there's a certain amount of empathy I have until they start threatening and endangering people I like. But yeah, dude, back the fuck off. It's sad. It's really sad. All of it's sad. But don't make it sadder. She said she's got a handle. I hope it's okay. I wish the cops would fucking do something, but
they tend not to.
That's still happening.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a guy that just shows up, and this is mental illness, is what this is.
It is,
yeah.
And it's that's the sad part. It's like maybe somebody could help this guy if they reach out. I don't know, but like it can't be Melanie. That's not her fucking job,
right?
But yeah. Yeah, well, Texas is a big state. I was watching 1883, and my favorite part was they don't get out of Texas until like more than halfway through the season. I'm like, accurate,
very accurate.
Well, dude, it takes me a day and a half to drive from here to San Diego, or from here to Orlando. It's the same thing. One of the days is Texas, and the other half a day is everything else.
Yeah, it's like 4 different states.
Like you get through New Mexico in a couple hours, 3 hours. It's pretty easy stuff. I'll be doing that soon. So Ant-Man, not good. It doesn't look like it's good. Doesn't look like it's going to do well. And Marvel really needs, they should have started with Guardians of the Galaxy, Chris.
For sure.
It's not that connected to it. And I would have just started with that.
Yeah. It's just, at least there are things that aren't, I found elements of Doctor Strange, Thor, and Black Panther, Wakanda Forever. I found things I absolutely hated. That was just, and that made me angry. There's nothing in this movie that made me angry, with the exception of the political shout outs, and they are overt. They're not just like, it's not subtle. You know how you would point out stuff early on, Gary? You're the one that noticed a lot of things before a lot of people. And they were subtle. You had to look for them. It's right there. They're making no bones about it. They are pandering to the very political and naive young fans of Marvel, with this shout out to, ants are socialists and let's resist the revolution. Get ready for the revolution. It's all there happening in the quantum realm, and it's so
The
like,
Revolution, sponsored by Disney.
yeah, I was shocked by it. I wasn't angry about it because I expected it, but so many elements of Doctor Strange, Thor, and Black and Wakanda Forever like made me mad. Nothing in the movie made me mad or pissed or angry about it. Which is why I'm like, all right, well, it had at least the fun first third, which was kind of fun, and there are fun parts here and there, but as a whole, it feels meaningless. It just felt
and that's what these movies weren't before.
Yes,
they felt meaningful. It felt like, hey, we love the comics. I'm talking phase 1, by the way.
Yeah.
And now it's just like, okay, great. The Kang costume looks pretty good. It does. It looks like Kang, but this is like a mid-tier villain. Can you make a mid-tier villain good? Sure. But not the way they set it up. Like, it should be Kang Prime. That's who you should be following the whole time. Not like multiple disposable Kangs, because once you do multiple disposable things, your universe becomes multiple and disposable. I can't think of the quote. Bounding into Comics did a great article on Marvel about a month ago, and they brought up a J.R.R. Tolkien quote, which essentially, I'm paraphrasing it badly, says, do not clown your universe that you created, especially the magic in it. It needs to be serious, because if you don't take it serious as a storyteller, or as the narrative doesn't take it seriously, then the audience and the reader will not. And that's what Marvel's been clowning, not only their own magic, their own heroes and character assassination. And that is part of my last video. It's all part of getting rid of the olds. And there's monetary reasons behind this. Always. It's ideological, but it's that they make money off it too. And it's about intellectual property rights. It was brought up yesterday. Batman and Superman, the earliest versions of them will be available to the public someday.
It's like 3 or 4 years from now.
Yeah, it's not far
pretty
off.
soon.
Oh, I didn't even tell you about MODOK, Gary.
Oh, right.
God.
It is
MODOK.
So bad. The way MODOK is handled is he's a joke in the movie.
I think the only person who can handle MODOK is James Gunn.
Yeah, they first of all didn't take it seriously. It's played off as ridiculous. He puts on that little mask so he looks menacing, but out of the mask, it's the guy who was the villain in the first Ant-Man movie. Right?
Really?
Oh, so he shrunk and became MODOK?
He shrunk and became MODOK. It's what was the name of the character? I know.
Well, it's Yellow Jacket. He was Yellow Jacket. I forgot his name.
Yeah, I forgot. Anyway,
they are forgettable. Do you remember Ghost from Wasp and Ant-Man too?
No, I don't.
Ghost?
Ghost was a character.
Ghost? Remember the Ghost? You were supposed to believe that Ghost was a dude until they took off the mask, and it's like, oh my God, it's a girl under that mask. No, girls can't be under masks and everything.
It's so funny how often
girls can't be a villain.
Girls can't be villain. What a surprise! It's a girl.
What a twist.
Yeah. Yeah. But it's so it's that guy, but it is played as a gag. And it's oh my God, Gary.
That's the kind of villain where you think it's a gag, and what you do is you have MODOK murder a lot of people, like horribly.
Yeah.
And you make that person, and that's easily, I mean, just cruelly, coldly murder. Because that's what MODOK is made for.
Yeah.
And it's no, they just clown him. Okay. Well, then how are you going to take Galactus seriously?
Well, yeah, exactly.
He's a giant purple guy.
Yeah, big head.
Big old things coming out of his head that are purple.
Yeah. I don't know, man.
You can't.
That's because they don't take comic books seriously. They think comic books are silly. In the beginning, it felt like they actually respected comic books. It took them seriously. They had a guy with a Red Skull head, and they took him seriously because the comic books took him seriously, and the people that read those comic books took them seriously. Now, they don't. They see it as silly nerd stuff.
The Red Skull is such a great villain, and he just like was one and done.
Yeah, man.
Briefly in Endgame, I was like, "What the hell?" Like, he's up there with Doctor Doom. He's like a legit
and a great
Marvel
casting
villain.
too. Such a good casting.
Yeah, they just pissed him off. Well, he didn't like the makeup either. It probably wasn't very fun. But yeah, this thing will probably be forgotten pretty quick. Quick.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's just like, there's just not much to talk about.
No.
But MODOK, yeah, they did MODOK dirty. They just did it. I just wonder if you know what it looks like? I talked about this on the film thread when we talked about Ant-Man for 2 hours. I'm surprised we talked about it that long. But it looks like, and see if anyone in the chat remembers this. Do you remember Thumb Wars?
Yes.
Yeah.
Steve Odekirk's Thumb Wars, or they also made Thumbtanic.
Yeah, they made Thumb everything, man. I remember going to the Blockbuster and they'd have all of them there.
Okay, those are dumb, fun little. It's the movie with thumbs. Thumb Wars, whatever. That's what MODOK reminded me of. I'm watching it going, why does this seem so familiar? The way that they smushed his face, and it's like, because it looks like that Thumb War movie.
Yeah, I saw the image of it, and wow.
Yeah.
Oh my God, there are movies that were made 15 years ago that look better. Like it looks like a COVID movie, but like they've had plenty of time to work on it. And the CGI for Flash dog shit too. It looked total dog shit. Let's read some soups because we are on limited time. There is a show coming out, I believe, at midnight tonight called Picard, season 3. We're going to see it through. Told you we're going to see it through. We're going to see it through. A lot of people are liking it, though.
That's what I hear.
Yeah. A lot of people are liking it. I'll, of course, be covering it. I'm seeing it all the way through. I'm not going to give up on this, and we'll see what happens. Shake from Hunger Team has gifted 5 Nerdrotic memberships for $25. Thank you very much.
Shake.
Dan Vask, of course, insulting me again. Gary's first comic book was drawn on the wall of a cave. This is true. I'm not going to deny that. I am
right
old,
on, Dan.
Old as dirt. Whatever. When you guys meet, you can rub man buns. You put your back to the head.
No, we'll just work out because that's why we have the man buns.
Well, yeah,
for utility gets it up out of the hair.
Yeah, you'll work each other out.
Yeah, we do
help
push
each
ups.
other. You'll help each other out.
Yeah, spot me.
Oh.
Jerk off Juggernaut. Speaking of spotting you,
what
10 Nerdrotic memberships for $50. What a segue. Toxic Man Flu has gifted 10 Nerdrotic memberships for $50. Thank you very much. Finished up. Go. Grizzly, the Grizzly for $20 says Marvel demanding the praise of socialism in films. This is a triple-double bad thought. The Ministry of Socialism just says do, and you're a bad person. And if you have critical thinking skills, also the book of 1984 doesn't exist. Yeah. I think somebody just did a video on subtle communism and not so subtle communism. And then they just do avert. I don't plan these things, folks. It just happens. Brantley Burnett has gifted 10 Nerdrotic memberships for $50. Thank you very much.
Hello.
Okay, so our good friend Robert Meyer Burnett has been singing the praises of Picard. Dave Cullen, okay, who is a good guy, gave this channel a shout out back when we were, well, just me, and I think we had 20,000 subs, and it blew the channel up. Me and a Bulls Trek got a shout out. I remember I was on my way somewhere and Bulls Trek DM me. He's like, dude, we got a shout out from Dave Cullen. I'm like, shut the front door.
No way.
We did. But we did. And I appreciate that. He liked it. Some other people I know liked it. I'm not sure how much. I am so terrible at keeping secrets.
What do you know?
I might know something. Some stuff.
Some
things. Like what happened in the first episode. Because I want to see it. So oopsie.
It's coming out tonight. Come on.
That's scary.
I'll be working on a video right after my meeting with Spotify. And see, I can't keep secrets. And I don't know if it's going to go anywhere, folks. They called me. They emailed me. So we'll see. I don't know what they want. I'm like, I'm already there. So
yeah, what else do you want?
Maybe they're like, are you interested in bringing your podcast? I'm like, dude, my podcast is there already.
You should just
That's
say
probably
yes.
what it's going to be.
You should be like, yes, I would.
Yes, I would.
I am interested.
Maybe they want video, Gary. Maybe they want you to.
That would be I'll be a dick. I want what Joe Rogan has. I want video to be available. I want people to be able to see it too. Can we get that going for everybody? That'd be cool. Maybe it is. I don't pay attention that much, but I listen to Joe Rogan on Spotify, and that's about it. I don't know is Geeks and Gamers on Spotify yet, or any of our friends on Spotify?
I don't know.
That is all I use it for is JRE.
Yeah.
And then I close the app.
JRE. Okay. What can I say? Since that cat's already out of the bag. It was the first episode of Picard was the best Star Trek I have seen since Voyager.
Wow. So
I'm not the biggest Enterprise fan. Okay. Just not. I think the last couple seasons were better, but that theme song sucked balls, and it still sucks balls, and will always suck balls. That last episode of the series was terrible. But I think the last two seasons, because I didn't watch it till later. I dipped out after the first couple seasons. Everybody's like 3 and 4 are good. So I checked out 3 and 4, and they were pretty good. They were like legit good. But I'm not the biggest Scott Bakula guy either. Don't know why.
You don't like Scott Bakula?
I don't hate him. I'm just not a big fan, I didn't watch Quantum Leap. I was like, that was in the late 80s, right? I think I was getting like really fucking high, or I was too busy.
You should have watched it at that point.
Or I was sober in my early sober days, when I got out of the joint, and I was just working all the time to survive because I was po. So I could say it's got its flaws. It's still shot a little too dark for my taste, and I don't like the cussing. I just flat out don't.
That's Kurtzman Trek right there.
Yeah,
it's supposed to be in the future.
Lots of shits thrown around. I think I guess coming up there's going to be some F-bombs, but in the first episode there's like shit. It's like, ugh, come on, please stop that. But one of the biggest problems with Kurtzman Trek has been the people involved don't know what the fuck they're doing. Picard season 1 and 2 are dog shit, utter dog shit. I will still get that review. I don't care if this season's good. I promise you guys, I will get it done before I die. The Picard review. It's just going to take a lot of work. It requires me not only watching The Next Generation all the way through, like all of Star Trek all the way through, and then watching Picard season 1 and 2 again all the way through multiple times, taking notes. That's why I put it off, because it's such an arduous task. But I will say it's a little more positive. It focuses, more importantly, it still has one holdover character. They kind of get rid of another one quick, and they focus on the Next Generation crew, including one William Riker, who is magnificent. I will say magnificent.
Wow.
Yeah. Like I couldn't believe I was saying it. Couldn't believe I was feeling that way. I would say this is what they would have, I kind of said this at the Mandalorian when the first season came out. I'm like, this is what you should have started with. This is, it just took a major fan revolt, and the person who's in charge just completely bailing out because there was a fan revolt and not paying attention that somebody could sneak in who had some prior Star Trek experience and make something as close to Star Trek as possible within the confines of this shit. So Robert's not wrong. Also, sorry, let me get a drink. Nervous drinking. The music is fucking phenomenal.
Wow.
Phenomenal. Like it is Star Trek music, which changes everything. And I I was like, man, if Mando had Star Wars music, how different would it be? I know people loved little baby Yoda, and he could force little candy and put in his mouth. It's so
Oh
fucking
my
cute.
god! Did you see that
care
clip?
less. Yeah, I could care less. Also, with
it looked like a commercial. It's shot like a commercial is shot.
so
it just has a feel like that.
We'll see. I'll have more to say on it later. I probably said way too much already. But
Really spilled the beans on that one.
It's coming out tomorrow. Fuck it, and like, it's up to you. Honestly, I have been. I'm not going to say the biggest, but I'm up there with the Kurtzman critics. I am blocked by this franchise on Twitter. Still. So Star Trek Paramount Plus Twitter account blocks me. More importantly, they block Robert Meyer Burnett.
Yeah.
Okay. Like me, I understand. I've said a few things about Kurtzman that aren't so nice. And I stand by them with no apologies. To this day, in the future, because of the treatment, my main criticism is it's not Star Trek. It's this foul, dystopian, nihilistic bullshit made by fucking creatively bankrupt morons who just wanted a franchise that they bought at the franchise store, and they don't really take the time to give a fuck about it. And more importantly, they don't take the time to understand the fandom, and they have destroyed the Star Trek fandom. They have, not me, not Robert, not Doomcock, not anybody else. They have. Alex Kurtzman. Also, politically, openly choosing sides during elections is fucking, you're just telling half of your audience to fuck off automatically, which is just something you can have your politics, vote for whatever you like, but your franchise is supposed to be this allegorical science fiction story that gets through to everybody. And that's the best way to get through to everybody, is to be subtle, not judgmental, and tell a good story and treat all of your audience the same. You, by doing that, tell half of your audience to go fuck themselves. And they did. They're like, bye. And you can't afford that with Star Trek. They're getting old. I've been to Star Trek conventions, and I'm one of the younger guys in there, and I'm not young. So that's bad. Average age, seriously, average age was 40 at the fucking Star Trek convention. That's not good. There's no kids, not a kid in sight. Same things happen in the comics. Same things come for you, Star Wars. So, yeah, I'm not a fan. Not a fan, and I will not be a fan of Kurtzman. Anything he's involved with creatively, it will suck. I promise you, it will suck. This might be an anomaly. I think this might be a one and done. As far as I know, Terry Metalis hasn't been picked up yet. Hopefully, you know, if things play out again, I've got to see the entire season before and even then, I would treat it probably like House of the Dragon. It's not like, you know, not that my recommendation fucking matters, because it doesn't. I'm just a fan giving my opinion. You do what you want to do. You do what you want to do. But there is a couple scenarios you got to talk about. If you like this and support it, you are supporting Terry Metalis, but you're also supporting Kurtzman. So my guess is, this is my guess, the way, and if Kurtzman doesn't do it this way, I will be fucking surprised. Say this is a big hit and people love it. He'll take all the credit. He'll try to pick up where Terry Metalis left off, and he might take over the series himself. Because, I mean, he's done it before, and tell Terry to fuck off or whatever, or not bring him back. And thanks for the work, buddy. I'll take it from here. And it'll suck. It'll just continue to be shitty Star Trek. And you'll just have this, and maybe in your head canon, if this plays out, this can be the only thing that exists. But if you want to have the conversation about, like, well, will this perpetuate Kurtzman Trek? It doesn't matter at this point. I'm sorry to say. Kurtzman Trek has been perpetuated for years. It sucks. Nobody watches it. On the same network, you have the Sheridan verse, which is crushing this, and it's a fraction of the cost. And by the way, the shit's really good. I'm watching 1883. It's fucking good. It's really good. Tulsa King, really fucking good. And why not lean into that? It's cheaper. You can make an entire 1883 for the price of 2 Star Trek Discovery episodes. Or maybe 1 from season 1. But either way, like, are we going to hold out this fantasy like Kurtzman's going to leave and somebody else will take Star Trek and carry it on? I don't think it's strong enough franchise to do that. I think it would just be comic books and books from here on out. and it fades away like Flash Gordon and Buck Rogers and Zorro, which were used to be, and the Shadow, which used to be very popular, extremely popular, the most popular thing back in the day. So I don't know. And I also don't see this as a different situation than Disney Star Wars. Disney Star Wars and Kurtzman Trek both have bad leadership. Both have treated the fans like utter dog shit. And after taking their lumps and losing a bunch of money, they decided on a couple of projects that they don't have high priority on to like, all right, let's try. Let's just be experimental. Kind of like what Warner Brothers did with Joker. They just gave it to somebody and didn't give a fuck. And Andor, I guess, made a few people happy. I'm not one of them. I don't care. People still like The Mandalorian. I'm not one of them, but I don't care if you like it. Yeah, I am not one of them. But I don't see how that's any different than watching and supporting Andor and The Mandalorian over Picard season 3. They're the same thing. They're absolutely the same thing. And the question always is asked is, when they do something good, do we praise them? Yeah, just be honest. That's all. Just be honest. Like House of the Dragon was good. I didn't think it was going to be good at all. I thought it was just going to be an intersectional feminist piece of shit, and it wasn't. And I was surprised and liked it. So, in other words, watch what you want. We are not the authority here, and I wouldn't pretend to be. We're just fellow fans, right, guys? That's all we are. It's fellow fan. Rant over. That was a long one, but
that was good.
Cheers.
Round of applause. I don't have a button for it.
I'm like, I can't applause myself. That's
my finger goes over there and press the button.
All right. That'd be narcissistic, but thanks. I don't know, Chris. You didn't usually get your Access Media? How come you didn't get to see it early?
Yeah, look. I have hookups at some companies, but not Paramount. So yeah, I didn't get Picard season 3. I didn't get it. Other people did, but I don't have a problem with it. I got plenty to watch.
Watch the first episode.
I will.
Watch
I
the
will.
first episode.
Yeah, I'm definitely intrigued. I'm intrigued. You say it's good. Dave Cullen says it's good. I think I'm gonna check it out.
And when I say good, I don't mean 10 out of 10, absolute triumph. I mean like
not complete shit.
It's not complete shit. They managed to make an episode with characters I actually give a shit about. Like I know their name. They have personality and charm. Well, William Riker. Like who doesn't like William Riker?
I love Riker.
But like, unlike in previous appearances in Picard, like this feels like a way more comfortable, like Jonathan Frakes feels comfortable in the role. Like it feels like Riker. You're like, oh.
It doesn't feel like they got this old guy to come back and play his character
for like a little quick scene. No, and he even said like he was so out of practice a couple of years ago when he did it, but like no, this is like it's written for somebody who understands Riker, and it's played by an actor who found him again. And that helps Patrick Stewart, who still sounds old. But they play off each other so well. The chemistry between those two is just, it's back. It's back. And we'll see where it goes. Like I said, it's not reinventing the wheel. I've heard there's a lot of fan service at this point. Fine. Like I'm totally okay. I'm okay with fan service. I'm not okay with like an incompetent matriarchy that the Federation had become, which, you know, sheer fucking hubris. It's a great line to use in videos, but it's fucking awful in Star Trek. And we'll see what they do with Raffi, because I am not a fan of Raffi. Okay, not a fan of Raffi. But there's no Will Wheaton, which is good in the first episode. And yeah, we'll see what you guys think. Man. We'll see what you guys think.
Wait, is Wesley in any of it at all?
No, they wrote him out.
What did they? Where is he right now? Is he dead?
He was part of the Gary 7. He's time traveler now, and he picked up Soji at the end to get her out. So he's part of that.
Good.
I don't know if they'll reference it in the future or not. There is. I can't say anymore. I won't say anymore. There is, well, I'll say a legacy and a connection thing happening in it. I'll say that.
I like that.
Time's a little bit funny, but it's the future. So I think it's pretty, like in the 23rd century, 24th century, 25th century, I think we can all buy that people live longer. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There.
Oh, scarcity.
Scarcity. What are we looking at time-wise? Okay, we got 10 minutes. That's good. Nikhil Sai for 40. Is that Indian pesos? Gary, quarterback, Exude Girl. When will you watch RRR? God.
Yeah, to do that.
I already watched it.
Yeah.
I have to watch it with my wife.
It was good.
We're watching 1883 right now. Because she likes westerns.
That's cool.
It's a good western. It's good.
I'll bet it is.
People shouldn't be wearing glasses in the 25th century. You're like, there's like little things like that are still there. Bird of Prey 5. But I mean, like they did that in Star Trek too. But yeah, or at least address it. They address a couple of things, but like, you know, the reason I liked Star Trek and The Next Generation and DS9 was the characters. They were interesting characters that I liked and followed. You know, I love Kirk, Spock, Dr. McCoy.
Yeah.
Worf was my favorite.
They play well off of each other.
Next Generation Worf was my favorite by far. You know, like Picard, like I never understood why people thought he was a better captain than Kirk. Just not even close.
I love him. He's what I like about him so much is that he's got that calm assertiveness, and he's like a tactician. Like Kirk is really great because he's such a like hands-on kind of captain. You know, he's like in the thick of it with everybody else. But I like Picard because
he is,
so
but he's a
cerebral.
tactician too. Come on, help me, Bird of Prey.
All right,
5.
yeah, you're right.
Kirk, major tactician. His Starfleet knowledge is fucking flawless.
I don't know. I just love it. I mean, it's also nostalgia. There's a lot of it.
Yeah.
I watched a lot more TNG than I did original.
Anakbaman for $20 on the Streamlabs side. Thank you. Hiring bot farms would be very unethical, and Disney would never do anything unethical, like thanking concentration camps, covering up shrinking black actors on posters, having not so secret gay agendas, or uglifying Karen Gillan. They'd never do that. They're saints. Oh yeah, did you see what Karen Gillan looks like on the Guardians poster, Chris?
Oh,
it's a tragedy.
That. Why?
You got it. I'll get it.
Yeah, you get it.
Sad.
Because we're dudifying all the chicks. I mean, just to put it in the most simple SoCal terms, who would have thought that show Jennifer Lawrence created, Star Trek, would fail so far? I know. Antifa Man and the Super Duper Duper Whammon is a movie of all time. No Michelle Pena, no peace. I am an hour late catching up, says Al Sword. Thank you for the $9.99. Yeah, what the hell?
That's a dude's body.
It is a dude's body.
Didn't she have boobs before? Now she has no boobs. Like, what's going on?
I'm just looking at just pictures of her.
She's like strapping them down.
No, that's a pec muscle on the right. That's not a woman's boob.
Okay, so on the right, this is a shirt, but it's supposed to look like she's got a hairy chest and a pec muscle right here. I don't know if it's a fucking joke, but like the midsection, she's got hips.
Yeah, what is it? Yeah, it's like flat man body.
It's like dad bod right there.
Oh my god!
Somebody said that it looks like Sean Gunn's body, and I'm like, it kind of does.
It kind of does.
And if that was a troll, that would be funny. If Sean Gunn's body was everybody's, you know, but that's not the case. This is because if you look at the other women, none of them have boobs.
This is such a strange trend to
manify women.
Women's boobs. Like, what is with that?
God, that's awful. I
Yeah.
hate it.
That's a real poster, ladies and gentlemen.
That
That
is
was
the
put out
poster.
by Disney.
Wow.
There it is.
Yeah, and Groot looks weird. I don't know.
I'm not too sure about that group thing. And then Peter looks emaciated.
He just kind of looks skinny.
Yeah, he does.
Oh, he's not like, beefy,
Buff.
Chad Bod.
But he is.
That's weird. Well, I mean, he is, but not on this poster.
Not on the poster, no.
That is.
And Drax has like this jacket on. I like, does Batista just not want to get into shape? He's like, you know what? Can I have a jacket? Just put a jacket on me. I'm getting old, I don't want to do the work.
Marvel workout.
Well, this movie was supposed to be out 2 years ago. Supposed to be early in phase 4. Apocalypse Sagan for $20 says, hey, Gary, let you know a good intro to 40K would be the Eisenhorn trilogy. Think of someone with the righteous fury of Solomon Kane, the deductive skills of Batman, as well as the charm and suave with women as James Bond. That sounds fun.
That sounds awesome.
I need to read some Solomon Kane again.
Oh, I love Solomon Kane.
Yeah. I got cautious about a movie when I see the words number 1, Disney, number 2, multiverse, number 3, time travel, number 4, A-Team writers, number 5, incredible CGI effects. My interest in movies and shows really declined since 2016, says Neil Horn for $20.
Yep. Totally fair.
Absolutely fair. Chris. Hail Chris Gore for browbeating us all into watching RRR. I'm working on a review for my channel, Swords and Starships, and as we speak, incredible film, amazing story of friendship like a live-action anime, beautiful film, Rise, Roar, Revolt against Holly Woke, says Captain Garrett.
Nice.
Yeah, well, thank you for that. And yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, your channel will blow up if you do. It seems like any coverage of RRR, like the videos just blow up. Apparently, a lot of people in India are on YouTube. So there you go.
They are. As a matter of fact, I had a shout out last night during Hogwarts. And I was like, that is so fucking cool. Isn't it cool, though? It's like, oh, wow. It's like,
dude, I watched a little bit of you play. It was hysterical. Gary Potter. Oh, man.
I had a bridge right in front of me, and I just walked right into a fucking river, and I thought I was dead, but I got out. Oh, but a lot of it, dude, is walking around and getting shit, and that's fine. But like,
that is the game, yeah.
It's needs to speed up a little bit. Like, I like The Witcher. It's like you walk around, you get some shit, then you fight something,
Yeah, that was my gripe with the beginning. It's very slow until you get the broom, and then after you get the broom, then it opens up and you can go everywhere.
Yeah,
I mean, you could go to the Forbidden Forest right now.
That part is fun.
Dude, walking around Hogsmeade and shit though was fucking cool. It looks so cool.
They did such a good job.
Yeah,
the details. It's crazy.
Eddie from Outer Space for £5 British says, Gary saying this about Picard season 3 makes me teary-eyed.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean, that makes me want to watch it because I'm like, I trust you because you were so against and it's the last ones, rightfully so.
I hate them all. The Star Trek producers don't like me. They definitely don't like me. I was blocked from one event. I would have probably been blocked from another one. RMB's RSVP for the premiere was denied, and he ended up going anyway. So bless him. Yes, did you hear it?
Oh, I didn't hear because he knows
he went as a +1, I think.
You just go as someone's +1. He knows enough people in that
he does.
space. Yeah.
And there's a great picture of him getting money from Terra Brutalis.
Yeah.
I laughed my ass off when I saw that. That was pretty funny. But again, I mean, I'm not telling anybody what to do. Like, in principle, the damage has already been done. So I think the best case scenario, like I said, is if you are a Star Trek fan and the only thing you want is good Star Trek, I'm just going to say this is competent television. It's competent television with Star Trek. It's not going to make you totally happy. You're going to have gripes because you're a Star Trek fan, but that's normal because you're a Star Trek fan. But I think by the end, you'll at least be happy with the relationship they have between Picard. And listen, he's a fucking robot. It's not really the showrunner's fault. I think they have to address it. And I've heard they do, and they make it like they do the best they can. But him being a fucking robot, and Robert's talked about like this is a thing. But I don't like it being a thing. I don't like because it makes death meaningless, and it makes it like so there's no souls. We're just like data in the fatty cells of our brain. I don't know about that, but I think that I do genuinely think that the people involved were like, I know this sucks, but like we got to work with it, and we're doing the best we can. And I can appreciate that. So we'll see. It could end like complete dog shit, but I don't know. I trust. Like Robert and I don't agree on every movie. We don't. We just don't. So I'll hear from Rob and go, okay, I know he was critical of Star Trek, but like he likes a lot of MCU stuff. I think it's dog shit. Yeah, when Dave Cullen comes in,
I'm like, that's really the turning point.
Like, no, Robert, I love you, but that's just the facts. But Dave Cullen comes in, and then I got a couple of other people I can't name right now who have seen it all the way through and they weren't giving me any details. They were just like, it's good, dude. We'll see. Zach Red Pillar for $20. If you want to get into 40K, listen to a YouTube narration on the Siege of Migraj. It's a peak Warhammer. It is peak Warhammer in tone. The homeworld of Space Marines chapter is invaded and killed to the last man by Xenos. They die fighting. All right. Oh shit. Okay, awesome. We got to go. Sorry, I'll read one more and then we got to go. I have my Spotify meeting.
That's right.
Now was the only time we could do it. And it's like right now. Well, I'll be late if he's not there. Oh, shit.
At least you're consistent.
You're consistently yourself.
There you go.
I'm trying. I wanted to read the rest of these. They'll have to go on the square up. Mikey B for $10. Gary, I literally just walked out of a Target and passed the Starbucks inside. The air quote barista was saying that Hogwarts Legacy kills people. What a tool. Oh, fuck it.
God.
Wow.
Really?
I would have walked in there and goes, I played the Genocide Simulator for 10 hours straight. Just stare at him.
I'm going to go home and play it again.
40 hours.
Oh, wow. Nice.
Adam Ant for $10. Enterprise is incredibly underrated. The first 2 seasons feel like classic Trek. The 3rd season feels like current Trek. The 4th season was mostly fan service. Yeah, you know what? Here's my Adam. I still am over prequels, but I was over them back then. I'm like, I don't want a fucking prequel. I want a Star Trek that goes ahead. I don't want to keep going back. That was my complaint, before I even knew what Star Trek Discovery was. When I heard it's a prequel, I'm like, fuck. So this is Star Trek that moves things ahead for the first time. That feels somewhat like Star Trek. Oh, by the way, the ship looks like a fucking Star Trek ship. It looks great.
Sweet.
It looks really great. It's called the Titan. You've seen pictures of it. It's a Constitution class. It's a new Constitution class. So the ship looks good. And if you were a fan of 12 Monkeys, there is an actor that gets carried over, a fan favorite from that series, who plays a captain pretty damn well. So we'll leave it there. Chris, what you got coming up?
We're doing a Film Threat live stream at 1 p.m. Pacific time. We'll continue the conversation about Ant-Man. I want to promote my friend Dante James. His birthday is tomorrow, and his wish is to get his channel monetized. So go to Verbal Riot Show, Dante James. You've seen him on Film Thread. You've met him, Gary, and hung out.
Good guy.
When you're in Los Angeles. Really good guy. He just wants to get monetized. He only needs like 150 subs and he'll get to monetization. So Verbal Riot Show for everyone watching. Please check it out. And Dante will be on the show actually later today at 1 p.m. So check it out.
Yeah, we did the panel together. Dante's a good dude.
He was on the panel. So thanks, Gary. You're late for the meeting. You got to run.
Yeah, you
gotta go.
Yeah.
Okay, Quarter Black.
Hey, Rumble tonight, playing a game. Watch me on my Rumble.
Okay, X-Ray Girl.
Same. I'm going to be playing Hogwarts Legacy soon. Find me on my channels.
Cool. I don't have a Telegram. I'm sorry about the Telegram. I'm sorry we got to bug out late. We'll be back Friday Night Tights with Chris Gore. So Chris Gore will be back on Friday.
I'll be back.
So we'll continue the conversation. So I'm going to go.
Excited.
Love you guys. This will be on Nerdrotic Live in a couple hours. Bye.
Bye.